Dthang is a Bronx drill pioneer. He was one of the artists getting the movement popping as early as 2020, but in 2021, just when things were hitting an all-time high, he went down in the middle of his prime, getting locked up for multiple charges. While locked up, he was named in an RPT conspiracy indictment, and it looked like he would be gone for a long time. 2022 and 2023 went by. The fans watched Bronx drill slowly decline and fall off, and wondered if Dthang or K-Flock would get out in time to save it. Then in late 2023, the news broke that Dthang would be getting out on conditional release. In January of 2024, he came home and was welcomed back like a hero, and all eyes were on him. The fans were expecting him to save the entire Bronx drill genre. He came home dropping bangers, but as the year progressed, controversy would pop into the mix. Questionable songs, allegations, and internet beef would all take away from what was supposed to be a major comeback. Now, 1 year later, Dthang finds himself in a situation he didn't expect to be in when he was first released back in January of 2024. So in this video, we'll cover his story and where things went wrong to get to where they are today. Dthang started his career in 2019, rapping with his friends from the RPT projects like Ide, Bando, T-Mac, and Six Shots. In 2020, when the Bronx drill wave was just starting to form, he dropped a song called Caution that was an early classic and blew him up on the scene. But in late 2020, this new fame would be stopped temporarily when Dthang was arrested and booked on charges of controlled substances and a firearm. However, he wasn't held long and was out by January, ready to get back to the music. In summer of 2021, Bronx drill hit its prime. Artists like K-Flock, Lee Drilly, Set the Trend, Use G's, and a bunch of others were blowing up, dropping songs hitting millions of views. And Dthang was on the wave as well, dropping some of his biggest songs like Play It Back and Like that racked up millions of views. In fall of 2021, Dthang, T-Dot, and Bando teamed up on a track called Talk Facts that became the biggest of all their careers and is currently sitting close to 50 million views at the time of this writing. Unfortunately, in November, shortly after Talk Facts dropped, Dthang was caught with another strap and would find himself back in jail. He would bond out 2 weeks later on Thanksgiving, but less than 2 weeks after that, he would get caught with another one, and this time he was held on Rikers without bond. In May of the following year, Dthang along with 22 other RPT members were indicted, and conspiracy was added to Dthang's previous list of charges, so he was facing a lot of time. Through 2022, he continued to sit, but there were whispers here and there about him possibly being able to get out after 3 years, and in late 2023 this was confirmed, and it was revealed that Dthang would be getting out in January of 2024. On January 8th of 2024, Dthang was released from Rikers and returned home. This was huge news for the Bronx drill scene, being that Dthang was a pioneer and a leader of the movement. He was welcomed back like a hero, coming back to iced out chains and a bag. He got back working immediately, put out some snippets of new music, and people immediately began talking about him saving Bronx drill. His first media appearance after being released was a video with Booba 100 where he appeared to be in a good state of mind, talking about how he was focused on the opportunity in front of him and achieving his superstar potential. His first official media appearance was on DJ Academic's podcast Off the Record, where he continued emphasizing that he was on positive timing and focused on the money. He revealed that he had bought a house for his mom and one for himself, and he promised new music was on the way, telling Ak he was working on an album, but he would be dropping a music video by the end of the month. And true to his word, on January 30th, he dropped The Last Day In, getting a huge reaction and quickly running up millions on YouTube. He followed this up with more songs continuing to drop consistently, and the fans were behind him. There was a decent portion of fans who were complaining that his new style wasn't as good as the music he was dropping in his prime back in 2021, but overall there was more support than complaints, and things were going good until July when he made a critical mistake. Dthang, Sha Ek, and French Montana decided to do a remix of Cha Cha Slide. Literally nobody liked it. The entire drill world clowned the song and agreed it was dirt. The fans were quick to switch up, drag Dthang, and say that Bronx drill was over. The criticisms of his music not being the same gained traction, and more people began to agree. Dthang bounced back with a strong remix of a Von Off 1700 song called Swing It, but the damage from Cha Cha Slide was already done. In Me vs Me, the next song Dthang dropped after Swing It, also got tons of backlash and all types of comments saying Dthang fell off and Bronx drill was over. After Me vs Me, Dthang took a break from dropping, and in late October, he returned and dropped his first studio album, A Bronx Tale. By this point, he had already lost a lot of momentum from when he was first released. The album got a neutral response. People didn't think it was amazing, but they didn't think it was trash either. The next month, Dthang found himself in more controversy. In late November, Dthang's friend Ron G's had his life taken, and his ops were quick to hop on the internet and clown him. Sha Ek went on Instagram to drop several videos trolling, even going to the spot where it happened, and this led to him and Dthang going back and forth on the internet. Around the same time, Dthang was also going back and forth with a New York drill YouTuber called BMG Upperclass. BMG had made videos reacting and criticizing his music, and he was also claiming that Dthang was lying about buying his mom a house. Dthang called him a hater who was trying to clout chase off of his name. In late November, BMG dropped a video breaking down paperwork on Dthang. The paperwork was from 4 years earlier, during the period in late 2020 when Dthang was locked up on controlled substance and firearm charges. The paperwork basically showed that Dthang had admitted to having knowledge of and temporary possession of a gun that was involved in a charge his friend Bando was facing. Dthang never said anybody's name, but BMG made the argument that by giving the police information about him having knowledge and temporary possession of the weapon that he said wasn't his was dry snitching and giving police evidence to use against Bando. Dthang responded to these claims by going off on BMG again, once again calling him a hater and a clout chaser on Instagram. Dthang would also make claims that it was Jelly Woo, another person also in the paperwork, who had snitched. Drill fans were split. Some said he hadn't mentioned Bando, so he hadn't told, and others said he cooperated, so he was a rat. Dthang had already been fighting an uphill battle, with more and more fans saying he was falling off, and these allegations just made the situation worse. This brings us to the present day. It's been a year since Dthang got out, and in that time, the trajectory of his career has taken a significant turn. He came out as a star, with the fans expecting him to be the savior of Bronx drill, but he wasn't able to meet their expectations. Many switched on him, and on top of this, he now has snitching allegations on his name. His views are dropping, and it looks like he might suffer the same fate as all the other artists in Bronx drill and end up watching his name slowly fade from relevance and his money dry up. But things aren't over for him yet, and he still has a chance to turn his career around, so we'll just have to wait and see what he does.